work on Leave It with Jessie. Leave It is one of the hardest things for dogs to do. You take a handful of treats and your dog can smell it and you offer it to your dog. See how they, nibble, lick, sometimes they'll paw at it, whatever they can to try to get those treats. Now, she backed off. Yes, good girl. That was good. As soon as she backs off, you mark it, yes, and then you give a reward from the other hand. This hand is your Leave It hand. The other hand is your reward hand. Ready? Leave it. Yes, good girl. Leave it. Yes. Drop the whole bag of treats here. I'm not careful. Get a handful. Leave it. Yes. She turned away from it, looked at me for the reward. The whole idea of Leave It is if I turn away from it, I get my reward. If I don't turn away from it, I'm not going to get anything. So you can either have them just look away from it or even walk away from it, which we'll do in a minute, called a walking Leave It, which is something that is helpful if you're out on a walk and you come across trash or a dead bird or whatever it may be. All right, ready? Look at me. Come closer. Oh, you wanted to do that. Okay. So the next step is to put the treat out on your hand and have your hand flat. And you're bringing your hand down like a little elevator. Leave it. Yes. A little further. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Good girl. Leave it. Yes. She's not even tempted. Now, I'm going to put it on the floor because if it's on the floor, they think it's their domain. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. But you have to be quick because if they go for it, you want to be able to stop them. Look. Look. Yes. Leave it. I'm going to move it a little closer to her. Leave it. It's more tempting the closer you get. Leave it. Good girl. Yes. And then you make her hold it for longer. Ready? Look at me. Look at me. Leave it. Yes. Nope. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Leave it. That time I didn't give her a reward because I want to kind of wean her off of it. Leave it. Yes, good job. Yes. Nice. Okay. Now I'm going to take it one step further. This is the most challenging. I'm going to put it on her paw. When you put it on their paw, first of all, you're touching them, so they tend to be like, what are you doing? But also, if the treat is touching them, they absolutely think it's theirs. Not only is it down on the floor, basically, but it's touching her paw, and she's going to think she can go for it. So we're going to do it very slowly. Try to set her up for success. Look. Leave it. Leave it. Look. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good girl. Leave it. Look. Yes. Sometimes I'll give them a hint to look up at me to remind them that I want them looking at me, not the treat. Good girl. That was really good. She's like licking her paw now, wondering where it went. Yeah, I know. Where did she go? Ready? Look. Okay. To the other paw. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. This is all impulse control. Ah. Something that young dogs struggle with. Yes, but she is doing very well. Look. I'm going to put one on the other paw. Leave it. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Nice job. So that is just a regular leave it to kind of teach her the concept. Now you can then take things like, let's say a dog loves shoes or flip-flops or slippers or something. You do the same exercise but with a different item. It could be a stick if they love sticks, where you're bringing the stick down, leave it. They have to turn away from it and then give them a reward from the other hand, just like you did with the treat on the hand. And that way they start to generalize that anytime you say leave it, they're supposed to leave whatever it is alone, no matter what. You can also use it with leave it with a cat. Unfortunately, she really likes cats, so that one's a little bit hard for her. Also with, if there's something sitting on the table that you don't want her to get, just say leave it, and she should look away from it. And then you want to kind of get her further from it so she's not tempted, again, setting her up for success. Good girl. So now you take the next step, and we're going to have her do a walking leave it. With the walking leave it, you're going to actually put her on leash because you want to make it a little bit easier and have a little more control. Because of course, if she gets the treats, then you're kind of taking a step backwards, and she's reinforced bad behavior. Come on, come on. So what I'm going to do is put a whole pile of treats on the floor. Okay. Leave it. She went right for it. Leave it. Yes, good girl. And she looked at me, and I'm going to get her to go away from it. Leave it. Come on. And I'm using another treat to lure her away from it. She's like, no way. That's a big pile of treats. Jessie, leave it. See how hard this one is? Jessie, leave it. Yes, good girl. And then you get her further from it. Leave it. Of course, the closer you are to the treats, the harder it is for her to leave it. Leave it. Yes. Nice job. Okay, ready? Ready? So I'm going to go a little further back. Look, she's already looking at me. Leave it. Yes. Good job. You're so smart. Good girl. Leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Come on. Of course, when you're first outside doing this, if you're on a walk or something, be sure to have lots of treats with you. And make sure they're pretty high value treats. The more difficult task it is, the higher value treat you want. Ready? Come on. Yes, good girl. Look at that. She's already looking at me for the reward. Leave it. Come on. Come. I'm going to see if she'll walk right past it. Come. Ready? Leave it. Leave it. No. No. Oh, she tried. She got it with her paw. Come here. Leave it. Good girl. So that was a little too hard for her. So we go back a step. And try this again. Leave it. Jessie, leave it. Yes. Good girl. Ready? Leave it. Yes. Now, one way that I can walk by it and make it more successful for her is if I put myself between her and the treats. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. This way. Yes. Nope, nope, nope. Come. Good girl. Come here. Good girl. And back. This way. Leave it. Yes. Good. Oops. Got it? We'll go on this side now. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Come on. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Come on. Yes. Good job. Leave it. Yes. Good job. And of course, like anything, you're going to do this in all different rooms of the house, out on your porch, out on the driveway, wherever you may be, to challenge her and keep her generalizing that she's supposed to leave whatever you say to leave it. Leave it. Yes, good girl. Nice job. And that is how we teach leave it. Good girl.